Hello and welcome to ePianos, Whitney Bay Organs, Genos Tipsters and all the other names, Tyros Tipsters we've got. And today I've got the DGX670. This is a new model. If I'm really honest, Chris is poorly at the last minute and I'm just finding my way around it. I had about an hour on it about a month ago when it first was launched, and it's a fantastic keyboard. We've all talked about getting them for ourselves for a home, but there's a shortage of supply. We've got some more coming through on the 17th of this month, but we've got just this one here that we're able to play, so I can show you some features on it. Now, it's a really good upgrade from the DGX670. The DGX660 has been out for probably 3 years now. The main difference is the 660 came with a similar size instrument with a stand incorporated with it, and what they've done now is they've made the stand a separate optional extra. For those of people who want to just use it on an X stand or on a tabletop, then this model you pay extra for the stand, but it means the price is accordingly set. So this is we're selling these at the minute for $759, which is a really good price. They bring it out in black. The white one won't be out till April of 2021. It's a model that they brought out, the black version, 22. I'm sorry, yeah, we're on the wrong, getting stuck with the years. So this is the 670, the DGX670. It's got 88 keys. It's a good old full piano length instrument. It's got all the sort of backings that you might find very similar to the SX600. It's got some great features. The main difference is it's not a touch screen like you might have got on the higher models of the SX series, but it's very easy to operate, and we can just use the little cursors to move our way around the screen. Now let's just see if anyone's asked any questions so far. I'll just get my iPad here and just see. So we've got Richard Bailey. Hi Chris, well I'm David, but that's okay. You didn't know. You're in New Jersey, USA. Oh, welcome to the live stream, Chris. Richard, nice to have you with us. Can you please demonstrate the setting up a registration, saving it in the memory and using it from the bank? So that's fine, I can show you that. It's a great feature. We can store our own settings and bring them back whenever we want to, and they'll be locked into the keyboard, including the styles and the speeds and everything else. So yeah, I can go through that for you. Richard Bailey in New Jersey. Wow, okay, that's quite a long way from us. Terence Parker. Hi Terence, nice to join us again. You're a good watcher of these live streams. Thank you very much. Is there a playlist feature? Yes, there is. And what I've done, I've got a memory stick here which has got the playlist on it. So one of the things I'm going to show you today is how to load the playlist into the instrument, and that's going to give you a lot of song titles that you can play by using the accompaniments that they recommend and the best speeds and things for those songs. Michael Harvey. Hi Michael. Mike Harvey. Stockton on Tees. Nice to have you with us, Michael. Terence Parker, get well soon. Yes, absolutely, Chris. We hope you're better soon. Sorry I've had to stand in for you. Okay, Jeff Street. Jeff from the Isle of Wight. Hi, Jeff. Hope first feels better. Terence Parker. Hi, all. John from Northwich. Hi, John. I don't think it's COVID. No, I don't think it's COVID. You're okay. Okay, Albert de Grief. Hi. Hi from Cornwall. That's great. Andy Long. Hi, Andy. Nice to have you with us again. Oh, Peter Daniel. Hi, Peter. From Swindon. Michael Harvey. Oh, I see, it is David. And Best Ricky. Hi, Ricky. Excellent performance. Excellent instrument. Well, the DGX, thank you very much. The DGX is a great instrument, and it's got a lot of the features that you'd find in a Genos or a Tyros as well, or an SX900. A lot of the styles and the sounds are of a very high caliber. And they're in this rhythm section here. I don't know if we can see the top screen. We've got the main area here, and this is all our styles. This is just a sticky thing that Yamaha tell us to press to get a demo that it plays itself. But we've got all our styles from rock and pop, ballad, dance, country and blues, standards and jazz. They're in sections, and each one has some pages. So I go to the rock and pop page. I don't know if we can see the screen any clearer, can we? Ah, fantastic. Well done, Charlie. My son Charlie's on audio and screen today, so well done, audio visual. We've got the pages along the bottom here, page 1, page 2, page 3, and we can choose from the little buttons along this row here that correspond to the page number. Now we can scroll through them also with this bit here. We can go down to the one we want to choose from and go along and to the next page, go across and back, and we can go back up again, and it goes through all of them. So it's very easy to select, and that gives us the choice of our backings. Now at the moment we're in the preset area, but we've also got a used area, whereas if you want to change any of the styles and make some adjustments, you can bring them in there, and you can also bring in extra styles that you've bought from Yamaha or other places and put them into your style section in the user area. And if we go to the right hand side of the keyboard, if you go to the main screen again, we've got the voice section, and this is our pianos, organs, guitars, strings, brass and woodwind, synths. So we can decide what sound section we want to choose from. And the beauty is we've got these 3 buttons here. We've got main, layer and left. Now on a Tyros or a Genos, this would be right 1 and write to. So you have two upper section sounds, which can be for the whole keyboard or just from the split point onwards. And then we have the left voice, which can go into the left hand accompaniment just to fatten it out with some strings or piano or something else that you want to make your accompaniment sound a bit more fuller sound. So that's the left hand section. Now what we can also do is save these into our voice area, and this is our registration area where we can put banks of 4 different settings that we want to play, and they'll be stored in with all the styles and everything else that we want to include, and we can come back to a choice of which bank we want to use. Now something that I've found out when I went to turn this on today is that it has a feature where if you're playing with a style, the chord accompaniment with the bass that comes in that a lot of us are used to on Genos and Tyros, it won't be turned on until you go into a feature and set it. So I've now changed it, but if I was to show you when the chords are on but the rhythm is turned off, I've now got a chord sound. So if I just go into, there we go, and it's a different sound to my melody. So here's my chord sound. I've got no left voice turned on, but I've still got that lower, and there's a bass note that's playing with it too. So that's the chord feature. Now I'm familiar with that because of playing organ and keyboards like Tyros and Genos, but you can turn it on or off. So if we go into the main screen and we go to, let's get a screenshot close up, here we go. If I go into the menu and I go to style settings and press enter, okay, I've now got some options on this left hand side that I can go between. I've got the OTS link, whether the sound and the style changes immediately when I go into the next bar or at the moment I did it. So we can go and choose that. We can choose intro ending set. We can choose which one comes in. We've got synchro start options. But if I go down to the bottom one, we've got one that says stop accompaniment. Now then, if that's set to disabled like it defaults to when you unpack it, that means that all the time, if we've got, let's say, this sound on here, it's all the way over the keyboard. And what we might want to do is have our chord sound so that if the rhythm is turned off, we've still got that sort of bassy accompaniment sound. So at the moment, down here it's not very appropriate. So if I just set this to style, that means now that when I play a chord, and it will play the chord sound again for me. And when I add the rhythm to it, the backings will all come on and so forth. So that's a useful feature that I found today that I wanted to adjust it to, so I can just practice without the rhythms on first, and then when I want to bring the rhythm in, the chord will then change to the full accompaniment. But I haven't got a sound that goes over the whole instrument. Let's just check your messages for a moment. So let's have a look. Michael Harvey, Best Ricky, thanks Best Ricky. Alfie342, hi, nice to have you with us. And Best Ricky, the only gripe I find, the screen could have been an inch or two larger, and the same for the 600. I think I agree with you, but I think they've got to make it that you pay a bit more money and get a better version. So the next model up from this would be the Clavinovas at the moment, but they're going to give you a bigger screen. But they've got to fit it in, and they've got to make it affordable. Now for $759 that we're currently able to do it for, that's a phenomenal instrument. And for that screen, I think you've just got to realise that you've got to spend more if you want the bigger screen. So I kind of know what you're saying, but that's the way they've made it so affordable to so many people. And when you analyse, you've got 88 keys, weighted keys, really good speakers built into it, and you've got a lot of sounds and style. It is amazing value. And we always say, we often show these people to this keyboard to people, or this range of DGX's predecessors to people, and say, have a guess the price, and they'll say £1,200, £1,500. You know, it's a lot less. It's a really well-priced keyboard for under £800, and that's what you've got to take into account. What you're getting for the range of keys and the sound from the speakers and everything else. It's a very, very good package. So I have to say that I think it's still really good value. It's just a case that they've made it very affordable for everybody. Okay, let's show you some of the other stuff then. So we've set the chords how we want them. We've also got other facilities we can go into in this menu facility. We've got adjusting the harmony. we've got the registration sequence. We can put some registrations in and program it so that it will change between them at the touch of a foot switch. So we can go into the registration memory and program our own to come in at certain times without having to lean over and make the order. You can pre-organize the order of the choruses and the verses to make it work for you. If we go into this menu, we've also got song settings. We can go in and adjust the recorded songs or the preset song settings. We've got the way we play our chords. So if we go to the top one here, split point and chord fingering, we go enter. Now down here we have all the different methods that we could use to play the left hand on it. So the first one is single fingered chord, and single fingered chord means we play a one note chord and it plays the whole chord. If we add the rhythm to that, we get the full backing, but we can get a minor chord by adding a black note below and a seventh chord by the white note below and a minor seventh by hitting both together. So now, and when I've made that chord, if you look on the main screen, when I play it, it shows me the chord on that little screen picture. That's it, just in there. Look, C minor seventh. I could play a G with a black and white note below it, G minor seventh. So it shows me F, B flat minor, and a white will make it B flat minor seventh. And when we play the rhythm, so it'll follow the chords I'm playing just from the 1, 2 or 3 notes. Let's just check the messages. A few more people have written in. Thanks for responding. It's good to get your questions and we can hopefully help you with them. Stunning piano. It is a stunning piano, Ricky. Yeah, I agree with you there. Hello from Plymouth. Hi, Dave Tuttle. Nice of you to join us. Jazz Tarragon, that's a good name. Does the CFX DGX quality with the 515? We were so impressed with this. When we started playing this piano, I think it's the most amazing piano sound. It's very positive, it's very crisp. I will play some piano on its own in a minute. I think the only benefit you've kind of got with the with the 515 is you've got this manual graphic and the speakers are a little bit better, but the overall sound of this for half the price of the P515, the piano is amazing, but you're not getting wooden keys, so you've got to compromise. Do you want the style accompaniment section? The 515 is around the £1,300 mark, but it will give you wooden keys, and it's almost like a Pro Clavinova really, but in a portable cabinet. So this one is a budget version, I suppose. It's going to give you the plastic keys, but they're a beautiful feel. They've really balanced and they're graded. The bottom notes right up to the top are graded so they feel better. Heavier keys at the bottom and lighter keys at the top. Okay, let's look at the next one. How is it possible to record an audio with high quality sound? Do we need special application? There's an audio record within this, and this is kind of decided to be like a singer-songwriter keyboard. It's aimed at people who want to record their voice as well as they're playing on the keyboard as well. So you can make a file, a WAV file, put it onto a stick and burn it onto a CD or email it to somebody. So the power of this and the vocal parts as well are very, very powerful. You've got some really good mic settings, all the reverb settings that we're plugging in a microphone will allow you to do. So it's a very powerful instrument. I'm not going to sing today, but it has got a lot of features which are very aimed at the singer-songwriter, and the accompaniment styles are excellent too. Danny Prakasam, thanks for joining us, Danny. Can we connect a mic and sing along? Could you demo it? I've just said I'm not a singer. I'll bring my daughter in one day and we'll do some demos with the microphone, because the actual facilities on here are very good for that. We have done some recordings that my daughter has sang, and they are available to watch. If you go to our website, ePianos.co.uk, and you go to the top left, there's a menu, and when that drops down, you've got EPTV, which is the ePianos TV channel, and on there are loads and loads of videos that we've made which demonstrate, including lots on the DGX, and there are some singing ones too that we've put in there to show how you can sing along. But the recording feature we will show you with a microphone and set it all up. It's just, this is my first go at this model properly, so I'm only learning myself, but we will be showing you those features in future videos. Go on, do some singing. Sorry, Scott, not today. I'm not your man. Okay, and we've got, let's have a look. Can we connect microphone? I record audio file, but all components cannot be heard. You can definitely do it. I just need to show you. It's the audio recording where you add a track in, but we'll do that for you. We will do it, just not today. Okay, so going on a bit further, we've got the the styles and all the different sections that we can mix together. We've got a really good facility for storing our registrations, and this was a question that Richard Bailey and Terence Parker have asked. So hi to you both, and this is what I'm going to show you now, the registration memory. Now what we can do with this, it's very similar in a smaller version to the Tyros, the Genos, the SX, the CVP, where we can make up settings and we can store them into these buttons, and that will allow us to bring them back at any point, and we can decide what we want to store in each of those buttons. We don't have to store the same information, and we can decide whether we want it to be transposed up or down or just in the normal way. We can set pedal settings and everything into them. So if I press the memory button, let's just go up to here, press the memory, and if you can see the screen now, these are all the things that we can store into the memories. We've got song, style, voice, keyboard harmony, tempo, pedal, so the pedals, transpose, scale tune, mic settings, text and audio. So let's say we wanted to record a setting for us to play back, and we've got on here 4 buttons to do that in each bank. We've got the 4 buttons. We could record in a setting that would have our styles, our voices, it would have our balance of all the mixing desk of all the different features. It could have microphone settings, it could have the speed that we're playing back at, and we can just bring it all back in at the touch of a button. So I'm going to show you that now because a couple of you want to know how to do it, and it's quite easy feature to use and something that you may want to try on yours at home. So we've got the memory function now. Just turn that off for a second. We can see this is our main screen where I'm going to put my settings in. So if we go in first of all to, I'm just going to go into, we'll go into standards and jazz. I'm going to use just the first one, acoustic jazz. Okay, now I'm going to see what sound the first one touch setting gives. It's probably a piano. It's sort of piano and vibes. It's more like a sort of a shearing sound. Let's see what that sounds like. Now, I'm still on 1-finger chords at the moment, so let's just go back into the menu and just change that back to multi-finger, which means I can now play 3-finger chords or 1-finger chords, and it will still play the right bass and accompaniment. So I'm in the right section now. I'm just going to try this out. That's nice. So what I want to do is I'm going to memorize that into the first button, which is this button here, number 1. And if I press the memory button here, have a look on the screen that we've got the things I'm going to choose. I don't want to record the song, so I'm not recording a song. And I want the style, I want the voice, we'll keep the harmony, I want the tempo. I've got a sustain pedal link, so I'm going to keep that on. I don't want my transpose. Now transpose is a bone of contention for this feature, because if you save the transpose into a registration, that means when you go to it, it will go up to the pitch that you're transposing to. So let's say we were transposed to upper semitone. Let's say we then move on to a different setting and then go back to the first one that was lower. It will sort of be less great. It will be sort of dropping back down again, and it's not such a big impact when you're going downwards as upwards in your key changes. So what I would say is do the transpose manually rather than, well, that's what I would do. I would save the transpose. I would do it manually rather than save it into the registration. So I'm going to untick transpose. So I've got my screen here, and we press enter to untick or tick them. So when I press the enter button, which is just off of your screen, you can see that it's unticking. So I'm unticking it with the enter button, and I'm going to leave that unticked now. And then we've got on here scale tune. I'll just leave that. Mic settings, I'm not plugging a microphone in. Sorry, Scott, I'm not going to record. And I've got audio text. So these are the things that I'm going to save for myself this time. We can put those in. And then when I want to save it, after I press the memory button to select everything, I just press number 1 in this case, and it flashes, and it's now stored the first setting. So that's my first one, and we'll just try that out again. That's nice. Now my second sound I want to set up is going to be a trombone. So I'm going to go into, I'm going to see what the other sounds are, because it might be that one of the one-touch settings, there's no trombone. So I'm going to go to the one that's nearest, which is the second one, the clarinet. And I'm going to exit back to the main screen. I'm going to go into my voice settings for that by pressing the enter button. It's already light, so I can press enter. And I can now find my saxophone. So let's go to the first one, or trombone I was going to do, wasn't I? So we can go in 2 ways. We can go across on the panel to the brass and woodwind section and select it that way, or I can go through to up and then I can go to brass. There's a digital section here, look, and enter, and then I can go through to my trombone, solo trombone, and then press enter to choose it. Really good sound. So I now want to record that setting into button number 2, and I can choose also A, B, C or D for my backings. I'm going to leave the B on for a moment, so I'm going to go memory number 2, and that's now got me 2 settings. Now, one thing to remember when we're going through these sound variations, had I have gone into A, B, C or D at the moment, it's set with the OTS link button on. Now, this OTS link on this left hand side here is going to automate a new sound every time I change for the A and B or C and D. So if I'm choosing my own sounds and I want to then go back and look at the backing, it's best to start with the backing because that will override and change the sound, but I can just turn this link off. If I turn the OTS link off here, that means now that when I'm playing, these don't change the sound at all. So that's much better if I'm creating my own sounds because they're not going to interfere with settings I might already have. So I'm going to have my 3rd sound now, and I'm going to use this piano in fact. Okay, so let's go memory, and then I'm going to choose number 3. There we go. And we've got a place for one more in this batch. Now, just to show you how it can work, I'm going to use a different style. So I'm going to go now to something with the same speed. This is at the speed of 152. So let's go into country and blues and find something a little bit similar. There's a country pop there, and I'm going to put my speed the same. I don't have to, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go on and set it to 152. There we go. Have I done that? 152. Enter. And let's choose a sound for this. I'm going to choose a guitar sound. Let's go through. Nice. So I've now got my jazz guitar, I've got my country backing, and they're both shown on this screen here. I've kept the speed the same, and I'm going to memorize those into number 4. Okay, so we've now made our 4 settings, so we can go through number 1, shearing, 2, trombone, 3, piano, and the last one was the guitars. So I've got my 4 settings, and now I've got to store them, and this is the big thing. If you put them in and you don't save them, good chance you're going to lose them all. So we need to put them into a bank storage. If we press the bank button just here, okay, and then what we do now is we go across to user, because that's the area we can store them into, the user area. That's our area. The presets is everything that's in it when you buy it, and the user is the area where you put your own stuff in. And we've got save at the bottom of the screen here, so I'm going to go save. And it gives me a chance to type in a name that I'm going to call them. So I'm going to delete the letters new bank that are here at the moment. And I'm going to put a capital. I've got cases, small and big, so I'm just going to put in David D. Case off. Now you have to be quite quick. When you're going through, it's a bit like a mobile phone. You've got, or the old phones, you've got to press it so many times to get the letter. So A is pretty easy. V's the 3rd one, look on this one. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then I, and then D. And for a space, I've got this first one here. It's got a little line, that's the space. And I'm going to put capital S, David S, O. If you make a mistake, you can just delete it. O, U, N, D, S, David Sounds, okay. And at the end, just press OK. And then it shows you that name that it stored it as on this screen. There we go, David Sounds. That's the title I've called it. So we've now got our 4 settings, and even if we turn it off or we bring other stuff in, that will now be stored in. So let's try those out. Number 1, we've got the first sound. Let's put the style synchro start on. Third sound. Last sound. That's my different. Ending. Okay, so we've got our 4 sounds. I forgot I was going to put the country one in the last one, but the idea is they're stored. We can come back to them. We can even edit them and then go back in and change the bank and confirm an overwrite. So if you wanted to change a part of that sound now, let's go back into the country pop, the last one, and change it back to the one we were using before, which was the acoustic jazz. So we'll go in there, we'll make the changes, we'll put on the acoustic jazz again, and then we'll memorize it. We're going to go memory number 4, and then once we've memorized it, we've got to save that batch again. We've got to make sure it's really stored into the instrument properly. So we go to the bank button, we go to save at the bottom of the screen again, and we leave the name exactly the same and go OK. And it says it already exists. Do you want to overwrite it? And yes, we do want to overwrite it, so just go yes. And it now changes it so that it's got the new style in that number 4. So now number 4, it's the same one. Okay, something else you can do, you can record into these registration bank buttons intros, the break, fill-ins. If you press them till they flash on the panel here, you'll see it flashing now, and that means if I store that in, when I go to the next registration, that that flashing will give me a fill-in. So when I start it off now, we'll get the symbol. So that's something we can load in. We can even load in the introduction. There's lots of things that you can do if you want to. If you've ticked the style box, which will include things so that when you go on to the next setting that you've recorded, it will be retaining everything that you had, including intros, break buttons, synchro starts, and so forth. Now something else you can do on this rhythm section is you can bring in what's called a ritando, I think it's called, and on this ending button, if you press it twice, it slows down. So if we just go into a style, let's just go to one of the country ones, enter, and we'll play it normally. If I press end, now it sounded a bit like it was doing it anyway, but let's just try that again. If I now play and press it twice, so it actually slows down the ending just to suit that style. So it's another little thing that you can do. It's got a little /rit, and that just means it will slow down at the end. Let's just check any of your questions that you've got, see if we're helping any of you. Okay, do some singing, Scott. No, I'm not going to do any singing. Appreciate the thanks for your efforts. Thank you, Denny. Thank you very much. How much is this keyboard? Well, we're doing these at £759 at the moment. We've got some more turning up on the 17th of this month, and they are literally a brand new keyboard. They've not been out for more than a couple of months, but the availability is very low. Yamaha have been really struggling to get stock across at the moment, as is most brands and most products, in fact. And we've got a supply of these coming on the 17th of the month, and there are some still available from that batch. So if you're looking for one, this is a good time to be getting one. It's a good low price. Trevor Coleman, come on Dave, make me laugh. You normally do. Trevor, that's very cheeky. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not. Michael Harvey, David, out of interest, what is the best method to clean the whole keyboard? Okay, well, you can do a couple of ways to clean the whole keyboard. You can just do a reset, which is by turning the keyboard off, holding the very top white note on, and hold that down, and then turning it on, and it turns on and does what's called a soft reset, and that will just put the levels back to where they should be, the tuning and the transpose and the balances back to kind of a typical factory setting. But it won't clear all the files and things. If you want to actually clear the files and start afresh, then if you go into the menu feature, I'll show you here now, go to the menu feature, and then we scroll round to the last page. We've got system and we've got utility. Now I think it's utility. Let's go enter. And then we've got along here config 1, config 2. It's not this one. Okay, let's go back out again and go to system, enter. And here we've got a factory reset execute. So this will do a factory reset back to exactly as it came out of the box, and we can tick how many things we want that to include clearing. So it would include, it says system setup, which is a bit like we did the top note, but we can also set the MIDI setup, the effects, the files and the folders, and the registration, so all of the registrations like we've just been doing. So if you want to clear it back to settings like it would have been out of the box, then that would be how you do it. Go into the reset area of the system on the second page of the menu, and you can clear as many tick boxes as you want to. So I hope that helps you there. That's how you do that. What is the storage system? Is it a hard drive or USB key? Well, we've got a built-in hard drive, but you can use USB sticks as well. So you could just store everything onto a stick. You could copy everything that you've stored into the instrument onto a stick for a backup, or you could take it with you to play other people's DGX670s, but there is quite a good capacity of memory within it for your own settings. Okay. Richard Bailey, thanks for the demo on registrations. Looks it is straightforward, Richard. Yeah, I think you'll find that easily to do. Scott H, I don't know, I'm still waiting for my SX. The SX 7 and 900 are both starting to give us some dates now for delivery, so we will be getting some of those through in the next couple of weeks, which we're quite excited about. Michael Harvey, not to clear, David, but to clean, please. So yeah, if you want to just clean, if it's to clean the instrument, then I would just use a cloth, you know, these cleaning cloths that have got something within them, or just a damp cloth with some soapy water on it wrung right out. So some washing up liquid on a damp cloth, and then you can go over and get all the grease off and just dry it off with a tea towel. That's a good way that I would recommend. So you get all the sort of grime off that your fingerprints and things can leave. Just a damp cloth with some washing up liquid pushed down, sort of squeezed into it, and then go over it all, and then off with a tea towel, something like that. Okay, soap and water, essentially soap and water. Yeah, that's all you need, because what you're essentially doing is getting the greasy fingerprints off of it. Okay. Hi Scott, the keyboard injuries, yeah. Don't know what that is. Scott, Yamaha, 6 to 8 of August. Okay, so let's go on to some more stuff. We've got lots of features we can show you. I want to go through a few of the styles I've found. I had about an hour on this, as I say, when they first came out, and the hour was just to try some of the new styles and things, and a lot of them are very similar to the ones from a Tyros or a Genos, the latest models. And if we just go through a few that I've found that I particularly like, it'll just give you an insight into what you can try. So we've got, let's have a look, we've got the first one is called 60s Pop and Rock. So if we go into the Pop and Rock section and we go to 60s Pop Rock and press enter, that'll be now set up for me. See if you like, this is idea for the Beatles. Now all of the styles, if we just go to the panel a minute, has got the chance to have an intro built into it. So if we press the intro button, when I play my notes, if my Synchro Start is on, it will give me an introduction. And that sounds quite good for the I Want to Hold Your Hand. But we've got also 4 variations in our style. So let's just give you an idea of what they do. We've got the A, B, C and D, and they get progressively more elaborate. So the A button, and this light flashes for the first beat of the bar. When it goes red, it's the first beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a really good way to see where we are in a bar, because if you want the fill-ins to come in and you've got slightly out of sync with the beat, then we can adjust it to just watch out for that red light to start again, and we know then that the intro is going to come back in, or the bait break or the fill-ins at the right time. So that's the first one. And we've got the second one, third one, and fourth. Now this break button, you've really got to get it on the first beat of the bar to get the best benefit from it. So if you get it at the first beat of the bar, it kind of stops the rhythm, and then it gives a sort of a fill in to get back into the song again. So really good at the end of a verse or a chorus. So if I'm playing 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, missed it. So that's a really good feature to use when you're playing, and I often use that and then transpose up a semitone to give me the next verse just lift it a little bit more, because unless someone's going to be singing and cross for you for changing the pitch, it just lifts the whole song, and a lot of bands do that anyway. So let's just try playing this for I Want to Hold Your Hand. The other thing I didn't show you is the simple button, and this will just simplify the backing so there's not too much going on with it. So if I play that D button, if I bring the simple button in, you'll see how it just softens it down. So it sort of takes away all the fullness of it and just gives you the basic drums and bass, which is quite nice often when you're playing, to not give you too much. Let's just check none of you have asked any more questions before we go on to playing it. Rollingston Gomes, thanks for joining us. Rollingston, nice to have you with us. Good to see you too. Thank you for your time. You're very welcome. John Perry, hi John. How you doing? All right? Looking back shop, hoping all is well. Yeah, we're back in the shop from our COVID isolation of my daughter, and we're rocking and rolling again. Please do play all acoustic piano. We'll get to acoustic piano. I'd love to play that to you. Jazz, that's a good sound. Does it have an auxiliary in? Can we connect a mixer out to auxiliary in and use the keyboard speaker as a monitor? Very good question. Let's have a look. Yes, there's a mic input in here, which I'm sure you could use, and next to it is an auxiliary in. So you could plug a microphone in, and you could have an auxiliary in for backing tracks from a phone or something, and they'll play through these speakers. And the speakers are really, really good. You'll be very impressed with them. Okay, so let's just go and show you the this first style. I'm only on the first style, but we're getting a lot of talking done. So 60s rock and pop. Let's put the intro on. We'll take the simple off. I'll put the OTS link on so that it gives me all the sounds to go with the backings. Intro on, synchro start on. Break. Ending. And the cymbal sounds very, very good. So really big, enthusiastic sound. It just makes you want to play more. It's really, really good fun. And that's the great thing about this model. It's got all the latest styles, the drums and all the rest of stuff. It makes it fun to play. Let's try another one of these. I've got down here a song I can't play, but 90s guitar pop is ideal for Torn, Natalie Imbruglia. So let's just go to 90s guitar pop, I think I said. Yeah, and what I've written down as a note here is there's a solo sound for the D. The sort of real electric guitar sort of solo sound is in here. So let's go intro. Let's see what it sounds like. Intro. Try a transpose. you get the idea. But it's a really big, full-on sound, lots of cymbals and tambourines, everything playing. It's really empowering. It's really good to play. So that's a Natalie Imbruglia one. Let's try. This is another one. This is Bubblegum Pop. I'm going to show you now. And Bubblegum Pop in the same section is good for a dirty dancing song, I think. Now I set something up there by mistake. I hit the foot switch and it was obviously set to change the style back in from A to B to C to D. So I realised when I'd pressed it, it was changing sounds automatically, which was quite useful. But I turned it off again with my foot switch and that stopped it doing that for you. So that's quite a useful thing. But that's a really good style. Let me know, you're saying that you want to tell you about this instrument. If there's any style backings that you want to hear. There's some great features. Also, if you're enjoying what we're doing, can you put a little thumbs up, the like, underneath the video there's a little thing that just says like, and it means that you kind of like what we're doing and we'll be encouraged to do more. So if what we're doing is useful and you quite like the idea of seeing all these different features, then just tick us a like and that means that we know. And put us a comment if you think there's something we can do better or something you want to know about or other products that you want to hear about. We're here to help. We want this to be a two-way setup, so you can tell us what you want to know and features that you'd like to know about. Okay, let's have a look. Is it a MIDI keyboard? It's not MIDI, it's a USB, but you can do USB links to computers and to other keyboards, so you can still get round that. MIDI was something which was on a lot of the high models, I think, just because people might still have something to link it to, but the USB really is the future and the way that everything's going now. So you can buy a USB converter to link it up to another instrument, like an adapter to join in with computers and things. Very good question though, thanks Scott. Let's have a look. Nice playing, David. Thank you, Hollingston. I have quite a lot live videos around. Once again, well, we're enjoying doing them, and if it's giving you some help, that's great. Okay, Shades Michaels, can you do a recording video on to make it loop your thanks? I won't do it today because I've not really got something planned for and prepared, but we will do the loop facility. It's a really good way to keep a backing going while you join in with it. So yes, we will cover that. Has anyone published on how-to books the DGX, or is it too new? Yeah, it's just too new. They've not really been available yet. We do give you lots of support over the phone, on emails and with videos, so we will be building up on what we're showing you today. But it's generally quite new to us as well still, so we're still sort of picking up on stuff. Okay, let's give you some more styles to see. 70s 8-beat is one of my favourites. 70s 8-beat is really good if you like the Welsh guy. It's not unusual. Okay, Tom Jones. So if we go intro, let's see what it sounds like. quite strange because playing keyboards in the shop here, we don't really tend to know the whole song. We only know the first few bars just to show the sound off and show you an idea of what it works for. So having to play most of the song is a bit more challenging for me today, but we'll get through. We'll get through. Okay, Rolling Stones. Although I got the SX900, I would love to know and learn about the Chord PA. Well, the PA1000 and the PA4X are both brilliant keyboards, Rolling Stone. They've all got their own benefits and features that people like to choose. So some people have a Chord and a Yamaha. That's quite common for their different variations on sounds and features. So that's a good choice. Could you please demo the adaptive unison and styles? I've not really learnt enough about them. It's my second play properly on the keyboard. So I think that's something which we'll do in a future video. But the adaptive ones are very clever. They'll actually adapt depending on the chords and the way you're playing. And some of them have a feature where the harder you press, it will actually bring some cymbal effects in to really enhance the playing. So there's quite a lot of new features that this is a bit more groundbreaking in what it's launched on this model. And we're very impressed with it, but I haven't played it enough. I'm standing in for Chris because he's not very well, had to go home, and so I don't know all the stuff that he's been preparing to show you, but we'll get through, and we'll be having more of these live streams very soon. And if you like it, put a thumbs up to say you like it at the bottom, and any comments, do share them with us, and we'll try and cover them either today or in future videos. Okay, another one I'll show you is one called Jazz Pop, and there's a song called Nightbirds that I used to play on the organ, which is this is ideal for jazz pop. It's really it's a real funky, super duper backing. So let's just try that. Woo! Ah, I missed it. That's a great song. That brings a lot of nostalgia back for me. That's a really good song from the 80s. Okay, let's see if any else of you asked any cost test questions. Okay, how many USB ports has it on it? We've got one on the here, and just the one on the front. We've got the USB to device on the front, and USB on the back, which is like the one with the arch top, USB to host. So there's two on this one at the moment we've got built into it. Okay, good question. If you do not think there will be books published in the future, if not, do you think? Well, I'm sure someone will do a book. It's not something we've planned at the moment, but very possibly. Okay, Richard, let's have a look. Sebastian Vonderbeck, nice to have you with you. Thanks for your efforts, David. That's okay. Well, we're bluffing our way through. Okay. Rollingston Zones, although I got the Essex, and I'd like to know about this. Yeah, we've done that one. Hello, David. Thanks for your lessons and info. There seems to be a broad similarity with the latest keyboards I bought, Taurus 5 and the Genos, and they've all been. But yeah, Yamaha stuff, Mike, is all very reliable. You know, we do other brands, but the Yamaha stuff is just so reliable, and it's very intuitive. You can sort of work your way through it, and if you've played an older model, most of the stuff within it will be built into the newer versions. There's a feature. I'm just going to check on here. If we just go. Yeah, there's a feature on here which I'll explain. If we go to the screen a minute, and this might help a few people. If you've been using MIDI files and things with voices from older models, including older DGX models, we can go into a voice section and we can use this arrow up here. And this takes us back to all the folders that are on all the different batches of voices that are on the panel here. So if I go up, we can now go into piano, electric piano, organ, and so forth. But at the end of it, is one called Legacy, and if we scroll around to Legacy, not only have we got all these categories of voices, we've got voices from older models. So these go back to DGX 500s and 200s and things, and older models of keyboards. So if we go to things like strings, enter, we've got string sounds from older models that they've allowed us to still use, because you might have a MIDI file from a DGX 630 or a 530 or something, and that will use voices that might not be in this keyboard usually. So they've given you all those past sounds, back libraries, so that it will still find the right voice when it plays it back. So that's a very clever way. So the voice, something else in this section too while we're here, if we go to the screen again, Charlie, is that each voice has a demo, and if you're not quite sure how to best play the notes to get the best out of the sound, at the bottom of here, look, demo, it will play the sounds. If I select string falls and I press demo, and it shows us how that string fall has that slide off at the end. If we go to pizzicato, which is the plucked instruments, if I go to the piano, I know people are asking about the piano sound, which I'll just show you in a minute. If we go to the piano sound, enter, and we press demo, beautiful piano. Now, all the pianos are a little bit different. They've all got their own characteristics. So if we go to Pop Grand and we go to demo again, it's got a bit of an air of Elton John in there, hasn't it? So each of these sounds suit a certain kind of piano playing. If we go to, let's go to ambient piano. This is one of my favourites. There's lots of echo built into this. That's nice, isn't it? Okay, I'm running out of time now, so I'll just go through the last few questions from you. I recently purchased a Genos. I'd like to know the best way to set up the 3 speakers. We will be doing a Genos one later on this week, Michael. So just watch this space, and we'll be showing you we can show you the setup for the MS01s. Tell Chris I'm looking going after him. Scott, that's nice of you. Thank you very much. I'm sure I'll get well soon. Mike Howard, I bought a second-hand Genos cover from ePianos and it saved me a few bob. Good as new. Thanks. Well, we do get lots of covers, stands, speakers, lots of different things that you might want to buy secondhand. So do look on our website. If you go to the top left, there's a menu, and you can go down to accessories, and there's lots of different categories of styles and registration sticks and covers, stands, and they're all available to buy secondhand from us. So if you're looking for something, it may well be we've got something that will suit you. We also have secondhand instruments, so if you are into Tyros 5 at the moment, we've got some great Tyros 5 deals on used ones, fully loaded with all our files that we include. If you go to a Genos, we load extra files in there for you too. So there's quite a lot of features that we can load in to make it a lot more value for money, and that's what it's all about. Paul Shadrock, how is DGX670 build quality compared to the 515? I think it's going to be a really solid instrument. They have made it very solid. The 515 is probably heavier than this, and it's probably got a slightly heavier chassis, but this is, although it is a cheaper instrument, I would say it's a good build quality, very good build quality. Okay, your playing is excellent today. Thank you, Scott, you're very kind. Okay, so we're just going to finish off with one more song. We've got plenty more to show you, and we will be showing you those in future demonstrations. I've got this memory stick I was going to show you. We're just running out of time, but the memory stick I'll show you next is the playlist feature, and we can load it in, and that will give us lots of song titles that you can just pluck up the song title and it will all be set ready to play. So that's a good thing. We'll cover that in one of our future live streams. So do make sure you subscribe to our channel. There's a little thing next to the ePianos title that says subscribed, and if you subscribe to us, next time we do a video you'll get a pre-warning about it. We've also got a newsletter. If you go onto our website ePianos.co.uk, and our newsletter you can tick to say you want to receive it, give us your email, and then we'll send you every weekend, we'll send you a newsletter with some links to videos we've made that may not be the live streams, and also things that we're doing, whether it's deals or whether it's tips on using it, or some of our customers write features about using their instruments to give you more of an idea of what it's all about. Okay, so I'm going to finish off now. Let's just go to what should we play to finish off? We're going to go to Dream Dance, which is in the dance section. This is a great style which was on the Genos, and it's really good for the Killers. If I can find it, let's see if I can find it. Dream Dance. Talk amongst yourselves. Dream Dance, there we go. So it's on page 1 of the dance section, and I have to see if I can remember this one now. So introduction, synchro start, make sure transpose is none. Thanks for joining us. See you all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.